I'm helpless. I'm so into you. I'm so into you. Helpless. I know I'm down for the count and I'm drowning in them.
Where are you taking me?
I'm about to change your life.
Then by all means, lead the way.
Elizabeth Schuyler.
Kiara, you gonna leave me hanging?
Skylar,
My sister.
Chill.
Thank you for all your service.
if it takes fighting a war for us to meet, it will have been worth it.
I'll leave you to it.
She'll leave me hanging.
1 week later, I'm writing a letter nightly. Now my life gets better every day
that you write me.
Laughing at my sister cause she wants to form a harem.
I'm just saying, if you really love me, you would share 'em.
2 weeks later in the living room stressing.
My father's stone face white, asking for
his
his
blessing. I'm dying inside as you whine and dine, and I'm trying not to cry.
Cause there's nothing that my bad. Okay. Good morning. Day 2. So today I did not expect to be out, but stuff happens. So because I'm still feeling a little bit yucky, I will be sitting today out. But y'all know how I always make jokes that y'all can be on y'all deathbed and I'm gonna come up to the hospital and still teach y'all math. Well, the same for me. I can be on my deathbed and I'm gonna still record a video teaching y'all math. So good luck with that. All right, so let's hop into this. So yesterday, you had a worksheet about radius, diameter, circumference, and all that good stuff. So before we even start, I have a few questions. Okay, so how this is gonna work is I'm gonna ask the question and I need someone to answer it. So I'm gonna go on a pause for about 30 seconds to give y'all time enough to actually answer the question. Make sense? Awesome. All right, first question. Can somebody tell me what is a circumference? By now, somebody should have said the circumference is the distance around a circle. Meaning, literally, if I'm running a track or something, if I start right here, is the distance that it would take me to literally go around a circle. Okay? Don't judge my circle. I'm a math teacher, not an art teacher. Don't do that. All right, that's a circumference. Next question is, what is this called? I hope somebody said the center, even though that's not the center. I mean, okay, that looked more like the center. Yes, I agree. This is the center. How do you know it's the center? Well, it's located in the center. Okay. Someone, please give me the definition of a radius. What is a radius? I agree. A radius is a line that goes from the center to any point of the circumference. This a radius. That's a radius. That's a radius. A radius is a line that goes from the center of the circle to the circumference. Okay. What is a diameter? A diameter is a line that goes from one point of the circumference to the other point of the circumference, traveling through the center. So it went from one point of the perimeter of the circumference to the other point, traveling through the center. And that is a diameter. What relationship do a radius and a diameter have to each other? I know. Miss Perez, change the battery. Whatever. Just roll with it. What relationship do a radius and a diameter have to each other? By now, somebody should have said, well, the diameter is 2 times the radius. And I agree. Okay. So if my radius is 3, I know my diameter would be 6. Okay, I agree. Last question. Nope, it's not the last question. I don't know why I even say that. How do you spell the word pi? P-I. You know what? I really hope the board is erased by now, because all the answers is up there, but whatever. Pi look like this. Can somebody give me the calculations for pi? 3.14. Agreed. All right. So awesome. That is what we went over, and that all makes sense. So now, yesterday we was and today we just looking at digging into the circumference and how we get the circumference. So we know the circumference formula comes from whatever your diameter is, and it makes perfect sense because the circumference formula is literally c equals the diameter times pi, or it can be c equals 2r times pi. So 2 times the radius times pi. And as I said, you don't have to really know these formulas, but you do need to know how to apply it. Okay? C is circumference, D is our diameter, pi is pi. Same thing, C is circumference, 2 is just the number 2, R is our radius, pi is pi. So now let's do some examples. Let's start off with an example, and I'm going to just put the circle. If I had a circle with a radius of 4, let's do a radius of 4. I need to figure out these two problems. Well, starting off, they gave me the radius. So I probably would start with the formula that has the radius in it. Okay, so C would equal 2 times R, which is 4. So 2 times 4 times pi, which is 3.14. Y'all got calculators, so I'm going to give y'all time to figure out that math. In the same instance, with the exact same radius, we can also use this formula. Same thing, C equals, now I need the diameter. Well, if the radius is 4, I know that this other radius will also be 4. So together, the diameter will equal 8. That makes sense. So the diameter is 8. Pi is still pi. So I have 8 times 3.14 equals. All right, now let's take it back to this guy. By now, y'all should have figured out that answer. And we should have came out with 25.12. Okay, and then also, by now, we should have figured out this answer. 8 times 3.14. And we would also get 25.12. What is that telling us? That these formulas are the exact same thing, and they're going to give us the exact same answer. It's just on you which one you want to go with. Okay. All right. So let's get into today's lesson. Today's lesson is about applying the circumference. So it's going off the exact same thing we've been doing over and over again, right? But this time, it's going to just ask a little bit different questions. So our goal today is, well, one, we know what pi is, but by now we know what pi is completely. And if this is a 6th period, if you ask October, she know like the first 15 numbers, like for real, for real. Moving past that. But we also know the radius, the diameter, circumference, and all of that. But we got those things are interchangeable. And so far with the homework we've been working on, if you know the radius, you can find the diameter. If you know the diameter, you can find the radius, which is also true. But now let's throw that in using pi. We're going to skip through this. This is the page I want. So they gave us 3 objects. And then with these 3 objects, they only gave us one of each. The first one, they gave us the diameter, and they want us to find the radius and the circumference. The second one, they gave us the airplane propeller, and they want us to find, they gave us the radius of it, and they want us to find the diameter and the circumference. And then the third one, they gave us the circumference, and they want us to find the radius and the diameter. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself, and you guys are going to actively start doing these things while I set up my board. Okay, so we should be ready to start. With the first one, if my diameter is 3 feet, and I know the diameter is the long one and the radius is the short one, I know it takes 2 radius to get to a diameter. So if my diameter is 3 feet, my radius must be 1.5 feet. Makes sense. And then if my diameter is 3 feet, I know what's my circumference. Well, 3 times 3.14 will give me 9.42. Okay, now let's pause and make sure we got these done. If my radius is 24, what's my diameter? And then whatever my diameter is, time it by pi to get to my circumference. Okay, so my radius is 24. If I time my radius by 2, I will get 48. Okay. So now I have a radius of 24, a diameter of 48. So 48 times pi, my circumference come out to be 150.72. Okay, awesome. So, yikes. So it's kind of easy doing it frontwards. But what if they give you a circumference? So now you have a circumference, and now they want you to work backwards. I'm going to give you a few times to see if I have the circumference, what would I have to do to find the diameter? And then from the diameter, what would I have to do to find the radius? Okay, so with a circumference of 20, if we set it up, we should have had 20 is equal to D times 3.14. So we know if we have our circumference, we need to divide it by pi to get to our diameter. If we divide 20 by 3.14, we get this long drawn out number 6.3694, blah, 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 blah. To make it simple, we're going to round and we're going to end with 6.4 centimeters. If my diameter is 6.4 centimeters, I know my radius is half of that, making my radius 3.2 centimeters. Okay? And that's the setup. So, with this, the next things that I want you to go over and start looking at is, one, in classroom, you should be able to complete Thursday cool down. Where is it? There I go. Thursday cool down. Right now, you should be able to go through and complete Thursday cool down. So if you have not completed Thursday cool down, please do that. I will be up throughout the day sending those back actively as y'all do them. If you have completed Thursday cool down, another thing you can look at is your Khan Academy homework. This is due by Saturday, and it's just a few problems, and it's just going over the radius versus the diameter. As we said, we know the radius times 2 will give us the diameter, so the diameter divided by 2 will give us the radius. In this problem, it says the diameter is 2. So if my diameter is 2, I know my radius would be 1. In this problem, it says my radius is 1. I know my radius times 2 give me the diameter. So 1 times 2 is 2. This one says, what is the radius and what's the diameter? Looking at this, it's like 18 centimeters, and it's going all the way through the circle. So I see that that is my diameter. So I'm going to put 18 for the diameter. But if my diameter is 18, my radius must be 9. Okay. So y'all see how I'm running through these? I expect for y'all to run through them also. Okay. So with that being said, this is where I'm going to end. I really hope to see you guys tomorrow. But if not, you'll still see me. Have a great day, guys.